Hey, another night here in Indiana with the fabulous, legendary Herb Kent and Herb's new book. What's the name of your new book, Herb, is?
The 9 Lives of Herb Kent, radio legend. And
you know, Herb, it's a funny thing that your first paid job in the radio industry was in Gary, Indiana, was it?
Yeah, that's my first paid job. It really was in Gary in 1949. I've been in radio for a few years, but you know how it is. Get a chance to talk in the microphone, be in this play, be in that play. So that's what I did. Mm-hmm. But I nailed down that $35 a week job in 1949.
$35 a week, was it? $35 a week?
7 days a week, all day long.
All right.
Herb Cooley, all day, all night record fool.
For God's sake, give more power to the people. There's some people up there hogging everything, telling lies, giving out advice about the people's money and things. And if they're gonna throw it away, might as well be some to me. Yeah, they've seen and heard of, but never had misery. There are some people who are starving to death. Never knew but only heard of, and they never had happiness.
Oh, if you don't have enough to eat,
How can you think of love? You don't have time to care. So it's crime you
I was reading the book and I looked at a few of the things that really stood out. Like, how'd you get this nickname, the Cool Gem? Because I'm sure a lot of people don't know. How did you get the name, the Cool Gem?
I went to Hyde Park High School. One of my best buddies, Darwin Evans, we both graduated basically together. He went in the service, and I didn't. I had a bum knee. I had fell in high school, and I had calcium in my knee, so that I was 4F. But we were both in the ROTC, and I was going to volunteer. I could not do it, but he did, and he became an officer. He became a first lieutenant. And when his tour of duty was over, he came back, and I was on the radio, and I was just calling myself Herb Kent. So Darwin said, "Man, you got to have some pizzazz. You got to have some class with that. You're cool, man." He said, "Call yourself Herb Kent." No, he said, "Get sent with Herb Kent, the Cool Gent." That's what he put
Get
it.
Sent with Herb Kent, the Cool Gent.
And it has evolved now just Cool Gent, that's all.
Yeah, well, that stuck with you for. Everybody knows the Cool Gent. If they don't remember the Herb Kent, the Cool Gent,
Yeah.
I know who that is. You know. I'm so proud to be with G. Chandler, the Duke of Earl. G, I know you've been a good friend of Herb's for a lot of years. Your music raised me, my son. Your music has been fantastic. What can you say about this night here in Gary?
It's a great night for a great guy in Herb Kent. He's been a friend of mine for, ever since I've been in the business. He was there before I was. And he did a lot to boost my career.
He paved the way for a lot of us, right?
Yes, he did. And we've been friends for quite some time. There's not a finer DJ in the country than Herb Kent. You're right about it.
I was looking at some of your pictures, and you always kept yourself suave. Back in the day, I think they had the Gousters and
The Ivy Leaguers.
Ivy League. Which one were you?
I was an Ivy Leaguer.
Ivy League. Yeah.
Those were the Brooks Brothers suits, and the pants hiked way up, and the Oxblood thick sole shoes, and the Gousters had the big baggy pants and big old hats, and they got all the women.
Well, back in that day, I think the Ivy Leaguers was supposed to be sort of like a nerd or something. What I heard was that what it was?
That's not true.
I know it wasn't. Not with
I
you.
saw some Ivy Leaguers kicking butt on them Gousters. And I'll tell you, I saw that. But basically, those Gousters are pretty rough guys to deal with.
Pretty rough guys to deal with. You know, it's a funny thing. You've been around for so long. I think you got inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I guess it's been around 12, 13 years ago. I'm in 2 halls of fame, and I just don't talk about the other one as much as I should. Gwendolyn Brooks, the great poet, writer.
Gwendolyn Brooks, yeah.
She was a professor at Chicago State, and she has a hall of fame that has been dedicated to her. And they put me in that as a writer. Not that I really can really write on a piece of paper that well, but because of the things that I did, creating the Wahoo Man, the Jim Shoe Creeper, and stuff like that, that in essence is writing, you know, just creating these things. So I was amazed that they did that. The other Hall of Fame was the Broadcast Museum Hall of Fame. And when I was inducted, oh my God, everybody was there. Jack Brickhouse, who's now passed on, and what was the other guy? Just passed. He his cohort. One did the Cubs, one did the Sox.
Oh,
He had the big
glasses.
He had the big glasses.
Harry Carey.
Harry Carey.
Harry Carey.
They were there, and I was sitting at the table with this lady, really nice lady. And I said, "Who are you?" She said, "I'm Lassie's mother." That was June Lockhart.
Oh,
And you know, the whole night went that way.
Right.
Casey was the MC.
Right.
And they put me in the Radio Hall of Fame along with Yvonne Daniels posthumously.
Right.
And another DJ, black DJ out of New York City. So that all happened 11, 12 years ago.
Another legend here in the city of Gary, Indiana, Richard Steele. Richard is now a talk show host, but Richard's done just about everything there is in the radio field. Richard, we're just so glad to have you here in Gary tonight.
Well, it's great to be here, and there's no place I'd rather be than celebrating something for Herb Kent. We've been friends for about 40 years, a long time. Yeah.
He's a legend as yourself.
Well, Herb has paved the way for a lot of us in this business, in that Herb is a lot older than we are, so he was here before we were, but to see somebody as strong as he is in the business at this age, doing what he does on the radio. He has this great book out, 9 Lives of Radio Legend Herb Kent. I think he's got about 12 lives, really, but
You're right.
working on number 10 right now. But he's an amazing guy. We all look up to